Future Warfare Simulator. Please select your simulation. You selected the year 2030. Sievers pacem parabellum. If you want peace, prepare for war. Welcome. You are now inside the Future Warfare Simulator. I will be your guide inside this virtual environment. Please follow me and feel free to look around. This is a simulator created to immerse you into the research of the Australian Army. And this is the Central Simulator database. It holds all future technology and military simulators. Though today, I will be introducing you to the future warfare environment in the year 2030. Fast forward to the future, to the year 2030. The world has entered a new age. Never before has the world been so technologically advanced, crowded, connected, and lethal. From the year 2000, and after more than a decade of fighting in the Middle East, the Army was forced to shift its focus and force design. The Army had to change from desert warfare to its role today as a regional force. This is because the economic growth of the Indo-Pacific shifted the global centre of gravity to our region. Countries surrounding Australia had a dramatic increase to their quality of life and to the advancement of their militaries. The planet went through a significant shift in science and technological development. This provided opportunity for our own forces, our allies, and our adversaries. The Defence Science and Technology Organisation identified the following 9 overlapping emerging areas in 2014. They were manufacturing, materials, energy, computer technology, space without cheap lift, space with cheap lift, biotechnology, robotics, and nanotechnology. By displaying the development curves of these 9 areas, you can see the technology convergence point that emerged after 2025. This has now begun to give way to the most interesting and innovative applications. These technological advancements have and will continue to drive change in concepts of military operations and force design. Please follow me into the screen. In addition to the technology convergence, the global environment displayed metatrends, which define the future operating environment in 2030. The 6 metatrends are crowded, connected, lethal, collective, constrained, and climate change. Crowded, a world with an increased population over 8 billion. Massive migration patterns, urbanisation. For the first time, the world is more urban than rural, and the rise of megacities. Connected, the interlinking of global economic, social, communications and networks, with near instantaneous communications throughout the world, as well as cyber operations becoming as effective as precision-guided munitions. Weapon systems and munitions have continued to improve and become more advanced. Terrorist groups and non-state actors can acquire weapons of increased lethality that can impact Western militaries. Autonomous and robotic systems have increased in sophistication and capability. Collective. There has been an increased focus on joint operations, combined coalition operations, and interagency military operations. The future warfare of 2030 has also become even more complex with the rise of hybrid threats. This is where adversaries adopt their own collective approach. Constrained. Land force operations have been affected by the ongoing major changes to Australia's economic, demographic, and social environment. These changes have also influenced society's expectation of a Western military. They include a greater responsibility for undertaking humanitarian operations and assurance of the ethical use of force. Climate change. Climate and environmental change has impacted upon water resource availability, food production and distribution, energy supply and demand. International agreements also further restrict fossil fuel consumption. These trends are interlinked, with activities in one influencing the others. Understanding these trends allowed the Army to design its modernisation initiatives, conduct experimentation, and fund areas of development that could provide the broadest range of options for the government. Please follow me and I will introduce you to the operating environment of the future, the urban littoral. The crowded urban littoral, or in other words, a busy, overpopulated urban city located on a coastline. With the majority of urban cities located on a coastline, and with conflicts taking place where people live, the Army had to increasingly prepare for military operations in crowded littoral cities. As you can see, this is a dramatic change to the deserts of Afghanistan. To become effective here, the Army had to adapt and better understand the metabolism of cities, how cities are designed and how they work. To understand this, I must demonstrate what happens to a city after a rise in population. This highlighted area is the urban core. Within the urban core, infrastructure and governance are already under stress. Outside the urban core are the peri-urban zones, and then outside of the city is the rural hinterlands. A migration concentration will create an urban ecosystem unable to cope with the inflow and outflow process required for that city to function properly. If a city is unable to metabolize the effects from an increased population, then this will result in the city becoming governmentally fragmented. This is because it has grown too big too quickly, and the city will become feral. This means that the central government group will not have control over all areas, nor will essential services be provided throughout the city. To operate in a crowded, connected, and lethal urban littoral in 2030 is the Australian Army's greatest test. This concludes the introductory simulation of the year 2030. The future warfare environment will be the most complex the world has seen. The nature of warfare is enduring, but the character, the way in which warfare is fought, will continue to evolve alongside these advances in technology, shifting global environments and meta-trends. Ending simulation.